On various occasions, pet owners sometimes find themselves owning a pregnant rat. This may be the scenario where the rat was purchased from a pet store and nobody knew, or it may be that the rat has come through a rescue organization and the person that is running the rescue or the sanctuary was unaware as well. In these instances where the rat is pregnant, a lot of times the female is very well equipped at handling the pregnancy, delivering the pups, and not having any major complications with raising them and rearing them. It does indicate that if and when she's pregnant, there are going to be a lot more rats, as they can have litters anywhere from 2 or 3, even up to 7 to 9 pups at a time. The female rat may need some additional nutrients during the time that she is reaching the end term of her pregnancy. She may require a little bit extra calories and a little bit of extra nutrition during the time that she is lactating and feeding those babies. In most cases, rats are very adept at dealing with their pregnancy, at delivering the pups, and taking good care of them. As long as they're not in a stressful environment, they're not overcrowded, they often will raise and rear those young pretty effectively. The situation sometimes does arrive where there's an accidental pregnancy. Somebody has a young male and a young female rat, and they were planning to have them spayed and neutered and just hadn't done it yet. In those cases, and with an accidental pregnancy, it may be a choice, if we know that it's happened, to still perform an ovariohysterectomy on that female early in term. If it happens to be late in term, it's best to let her deliver the pups, hopefully with the ability to either keep some or rehome them. So dealing with a pregnant rat hopefully is a scenario that we don't run into as we do more spaying of rats. But should it happen, the best case scenario is that the female will not have any complications, will deliver healthy rats, and those rats can then be rehomed. Because pet rats generally live about 2.5 to 3 years, although there are instances of some of them living longer, but when we talk about an average lifespan, you'll often find that once your rat is reaching an older, or what we call a geriatric age, they may be in need of special care, or they may have developed certain health problems that require special attention. A fairly common medical problem of older rats is the development of pituitary tumors, or a tumor that grows in the pituitary gland at the base of the brain that results in leg weakness, that results in hind leg paresis, where the back legs stop working, or where they're not able to hold food with their front legs. These rats then may sometimes start dragging themselves, and their quality of life may still be good, to the point that an owner feels like it's not necessarily the time that they have to let this pet go, but they may need special care. Older rats may develop arthritis. They may develop degeneration of the joints. They may develop an age-related type of muscle wasting that occurs. They may not climb as well, so special considerations are going to be extra bedding and extra cage litter and cage lining, sometimes taking out levels so that they're not having to climb up ladders or climb up ramps, providing food bowls that are easy to access, lower edges, putting food and water down low in the cage, and having that rat live in a one-level type of cage may be the best way to work with them. So caring for an older rat, depending on if they develop any geriatric type symptoms, such as leg weakness, some older rats may develop cataracts and it may affect their vision. And in those cases, if they lose their vision, they may need special accommodations, as well as setting up their cage, being sure food and water are readily available, and that they have the means to safely still continue to live in their environment, but with certain modifications to deal with what may be geriatric related conditions. When it comes to dealing with pet rat tooth care and teeth issues, hopefully there's not going to be anything that you need to do. As long as your rat has normal dentition, normal teeth alignment, and not any dental problems, there isn't much that you should ever have to do with their teeth. They don't require routine trimming. They don't require any type of routine care unless there's a problem. One of the problems that we sometimes see are rats that are born or develop malocclusions, where the front incisor teeth don't line up. And in this case, because their teeth are constantly growing throughout their lives, the teeth won't wear down normally and may overgrow. In this instance, the teeth are either going to have to be trimmed at regular intervals, or they're going to have to go through a permanent removal of those front incisor teeth. As I mentioned, rat teeth generally are continuously growing through life. By nature of the way that they eat and the way that they consume certain foods, especially rodent block type foods, they'll keep their teeth worn, they'll wear them down normally, and a normal healthy rat will not require any type of routine dental care. A scenario that sometimes happens when somebody adopts a new female rat is they adopt a rat that they didn't know, or whoever adopted to them didn't know that she was pregnant, and they may find within a short period of time that she's given birth. In the majority of situations, she's able to deliver those babies without any problems, and rat mothers are excellent mothers. They rarely have complications, and they always take care of their young. They are willing to nurse them and raise them. Even in sometimes the most or the least ideal environment, they will raise their young fine. In other situations, you may find a scenario where you're left with babies without a mother. Let's say something happens to the mother who's given birth, or let's say somebody finds a litter of baby rats and the mother is nowhere around. In this particular instance, the best thing to do is seek out somebody who works with rats, somebody in a rat rescue organization, a veterinarian or animal care specialist that deals with this, and consult with them for some advice on how you may attempt to try to raise them should you choose to do so. In other situations, a female rat that gives birth the babies don't require any additional care, any special care, or anything additional, leaving the mother to raise them, to take care of them, and then when they're weaned, proper handling and socialization are generally all you need in taking care of baby rats. At certain times, it may appear that your rat is sick or not feeling well, and some of the more common clinical signs you may notice may be vague, such as loss of appetite, changes in normal routine and normal behavior. You may notice that they're spending more time sleeping, that they don't want to be disturbed, they don't wake up or come to you for certain treats, or there's just some obvious change in how they look and how they feel. And these are certainly different than other more specific symptoms. In those cases, you're dealing with your rat just not feeling right, just not being themselves, just telling you that something is wrong, but they're not showing you something obvious. And this, unfortunately, is a common scenario with some rats. The flip side of that may be that your rat shows obvious signs of an illness. One of the most common problems that affect pet rats are respiratory diseases and forms of pneumonia, bronchopneumonias, that are caused by different bacteria, different viruses, and other groups of infectious agents. And in these cases, your rat is going to show symptoms of sneezing, difficulty breathing. You may notice that they actually open their mouth to breathe, which indicates that there is a problem. Also, rats often produce a red color pigment from their eyes and their nose. This is something that should not be confused with blood. It's actually a glandular secretion that's normal in rats, that's normal for them to produce at times where they're sick, at times where their body is under stress. It is generally not something that they would normally produce. So when people notice the red secretions from the eyes or the nose, or they notice their rat is wiping the secretions and it's on their forelimbs, it's often an indication that the rat's body is under stress from some type of illness. Another large category of illnesses that rats will sometimes show symptoms for are growths or tumors or masses. In this case, you're going to be looking for lumps or bumps or swellings or any type of obvious mass anywhere over your rat's body. And this is an important thing to notice because some of these may require surgery. So there are basically two categories. There are non-specific symptoms, like the rat just not looking well and feeling well and maybe losing their appetite. And then there are specific symptoms. It's important to remember that rats cannot vomit. They are not physically able to vomit. They can passively spit up food, but vomiting is not a common problem. But if you notice that your rat has lost their appetite, they're sleeping too much, they're showing symptoms of having diarrhea, or they're exhibiting this red color pigment produced from their eyes or their nose, or having trouble breathing, it's important that you take them to a veterinarian. The most important things that you need to consider in keeping your pet rat healthy and happy are going to be socialization, an appropriate diet, and an appropriate environment that allows them to exhibit their normal and natural behaviors. Generally, keeping pet rats as a cage type of pet tends to be a little bit simpler for a lot of people. Keeping them happy involves making sure that you give them enough time. You spend enough time with them so that they have the appropriate social interaction. That's the basis of why you have them, and that does become very important to the rats as well. Appropriate feeding and nutrition is also vitally important. Making sure they're on an appropriate type of rodent-type block as part of their feeding, making sure they're not becoming obese or overfed or eating too much junk food, making sure that people are not offering them too many high salt or high fat type of foods, or offering them a diet that's really inappropriate is also going to be an important factor. Water should be available, free choice at all times for them. It's also important that their environment and that their cage stay very clean. Rats are sensitive to some types of diseases that may be related to the cleanliness of their home environment. So keeping them safe, keeping them clean, making sure that they have proper nutrition, proper diet, they're not overfed, they're not overweight, and that they're socialized and have a lot of interaction and human time is going to keep them happy and healthy as well. The second aspect of keeping them healthy is regular veterinary visits. It's often recommended that they have checkups, weights, and time spent with a veterinarian who understands rats on at least a yearly basis. Some people will actually choose that their rats should visit the veterinarian twice a year, owing to the fact that most rats may only live 2.5 to maybe 3 years. But at least an annual visit, at least a checkup when you first adopt a new rat, and having them seen and monitored is also going to promote health. Also allow your veterinarian to share with you information on keeping them better, and providing them with the right nutrition and the right care is going to keep your pet rat happy, healthy, and ensure they live the longest possible lifetime.